Hey gang, welcome back to this episode of Upon these crystals. I am your DM, Kayla, and I am joined by my wonderful cast. And we'll start going down. We got Bree, we got Alicia, we got AJ, and we got D today, and we've got an excellent episode. But I hope you guys are all doing okay. Um, who's ready for the recap of last week's episode?
Me.
You are?
Me.
Well, I believe Alicia was voted.
No, right
so
over there.
I was voluntold. Let's get it. So, recapping not only session 1, but session 0. Last time on this stream, we are assassins of an order of religious order pertaining to Cato, god of truth, prophecy, and hope. We were sent to do a Noble House investigation, found everybody dead, explored the archaeological dig, really big, found a giant machine, made friends with it, fought cultists of the Golden Horde, Lady Shrike, half woman, half dragon, was kicking our butts, touched the crystal, became guardians. Oh, dude with robe, carried a staff, observed fight, congratulated us. When it was over, surprise, it's Cato! Had 7 circling lights above his head. We have wyvern mounts. All our curtain gods used to be guardians. Our job is to defend the city from the Golden Horde, primarily to keep them from waking up the big bad. Dun dun dun. Then we got to do training. The training was with a dragon. Dun dun dun. Shock. That dragon almost decided to kill us and then didn't, or maybe she was never going to kill us. Who knows? Not sure. Unclear. We learned to turn into rangers. Kind of. Not really. Still working on it. And I have the number 112, 2 minutes and 56 seconds written down. I don't remember why. And that's the recap from last week. No, it's one thing really quick. There was a siren at the end, and then there was a new challenge, and then a new challenger appeared. Insert coin now. There we go.
That was an in-character recap. I see.
No, it would have been like this if it was in character.
God bless.
Good Lord. Seems we're having some slight technical difficulties, but we should be okay in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you in chat, thank you for joining us today, and I hope you have some fun with this. It's actually sorry about this, guys. We're actually gonna head quickly to break, and we'll be right back.
I said the dragons were pretty cool. The dragons were pretty cool, you know.
Mhm.
And that was my vacation last week.
Nice. Staten Island always interesting.
It's
Oh, hi.
Welcome back, everybody. Our audio things have been fixed up and we are good to go. So, is everybody ready for this episode to start?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, let's do it.
So, out in a coral reefed sea on top of a silver and steel fortress on one of the many long platforms that look out at Cairo, the Emerald City on the coast, stands our party. They had just been told by the Dragon Melee that there was going to be an explosion that rocked the fortress. The group ran out into the open sky and saw that there was a large smoke cloud coming in from the council district of Kyra itself. There was Kato standing at about 6 feet, an older, middle-aged gentleman who looked to be in about his like 50s or so, with like curly, short, black hair, so like almost as if it's shaved, but it's still got some curl in it, with a bit of white streaks in it. Wearing a simple robe and a staff with these 7 lights that kind of hung around him. Next to him is also a figure that the group has not seen before, and before they can get a word in edgewise, Kato seems to take their teammate and then leaves them with this person. Bree, if you could describe your character, please.
Yeah, so Sade is about 6 foot. They have dark brown skin and they have dreads that go probably down to their stomach. That's pulled back in like this really giant ponytail. They like to wear black clothing. It just kind of fits them. And they have a pleasant face. Their demeanor is not like anything too worrisome. But you can tell that there's like a hint of something there. And they're a little bit thick, and they are kind of just kind of looking around and taking in the surroundings. So,
and for Sade, it is probably the weirdest thing because you were out in the Coral Sea where nobody has been, and now there's this giant fortress that you're on, and you can see if you look down that there are waves splashing against what seem to be very sharp bits of large reef. You were on a platform made out of solid metal. Ooh, sorry.
bless you.
And you, as far as you can tell, like you have a crystal in your hand, but you have no idea what's going on. And the rest of the group is also there. And I'm going to let y'all take it from there.
So we've arrived, and all of a sudden, Callista just gets taken away and just kind of blinked out of it, like just blinked somewhere else.
Kato said something about her needing to have a personal journey. You don't know what that was about, but before you could say anything.
Well, I think introductions are in order. I am Mr. Di Ocelot. This is Miss Crystal Adams, and this is Miss June Shoemarch, and you, maybe?
Confused.
Yeah, join the club.
June's gonna like speed over to you. So what does your outfit look like? Not this one. You're like suit up look.
My suit up look? What do you mean?
Yeah, you have a crystal. So you gotta have so you gotta have a powered up look too. What's it look like? What's it look like? Can you transform? Can you? Can you? You should transform now.
June.
What?
Ease it up. Just roll it back. Sorry, she gets excited.
It's fine. I'm just okay. Let's take it back. What is this? What am I holding?
You look down. You're holding, and it's something that you found while you were since from what you've told me, your character is very interested in seeing what they can get out of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And during one of your expeditions down into kind of the forgotten ruins of the of Kyra itself, because it's built on so much of it that it's essentially like its own dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And you were trying to find like gold and silver and stuff like that. Just see which you can find. It's kind of a unspoken pastime of a lot of folks in town. But you weren't able to find much of anything, but you did hear a huge rumble. And then out of like one of the halls came this huge, massive crystal, probably about as big as like 3 people, both ways, that just shot past you, stopped, flashed, and then you heard a crunch as your eyes were kind of just blinded, and you saw the crystal had made some kind of hole in the ground, but right by your feet was this large, almost like rainbow colored crystal that keeps shifting form. You were then brought in by this old man who just showed up and was like, "Oh, hi," grabbed you, poof, and now you're here. So you have no idea what the hell's going on.
Okay. So Sade is still standing there, and they're just...
It's a lot to take in.
So can someone explain what the suit up thing is that...
Certainly. This crystal lets us change into something more powerful. It's a guardian crystal, and now, since you have one, you're considered a guardian as well.
You see them all kind of like expose these crystals, whether it be on their like hands, legs, arms, or chest. I'm going to leave that up to them. But they seem to be stuck inside their skin.
Oh,
And instead of yours, they're different like colors. Like for dye, it's blue. So
I feel like it would make sense if you're confused, because I think that you probably just got brought here by that older gentleman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His
He
name's
likes
Cato. He's the god of truth, prophecy,
Well-
and something else I forget.
Whoa,
Oh.
he's a god. Wait,
Okay.
what?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
kind
just
So-
gonna keep dumping information on them.
So-
Okay.
Should I
So,
lie instead?
for Sade, you know that Cato is one of the gods of Kyra itself. Is the only god that is said to actually walk among folks, and is always somewhere where there's great change involved. But for most people, like the gods are just kind of like not actually, well, unless you're part of their temples. They're more of like a representation of Kyra itself and less actual gods to most people.
Gotcha. Okay.
Folks,
So I have basic knowledge of Cato.
Yeah.
I just have never come in contact with him, basically.
No.
until
Yeah,
now.
so you do realize that how he looked was exactly like how his statues look.
Okay.
Yeah, thinking back, but
Okay,
like,
put it together. Gotcha.
yeah, but this is a lot for your character. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
In any case, Miss Adams, we should probably head towards that plume of smoke, right?
Yes. Lot going on. You said your name was
Sade.
Sade. Do you have any combat training or anything like that?
I can use these weird light weapon things that
Like,
And
are they
now
like
we've
they're
got a
like
city to
light
save.
as a
Let's
feather,
go.
or like they're like
no
are
like
light
okay so
beams?
so I have these like daggers that I keep with me, and whenever I take them out they just do this weird glow thing, and they've just always done that and I've never questioned it, so I mean I know how to use those.
That sounds neat. To the
Um,
wyverns.
Oh, yep. Okay. Just maybe stay close to me,
Okay.
and
Sure.
we'll make our way.
Should
you
we be
go.
concerned that it's in our skin now? It's just embedded in us now.
You know, I'm just taking everything just one step at a time at this point, Di. So I'm just kind of rolling with it. At least someone's having fun.
All right, so you all approach further along the platform where there seem to be about 4 wyverns, these kind of like long reptile-like steeds. They're kind of a cross between like a greyhound and a raptor with like large amounts of fur, about the size of like a horse. You go up to them and you guys realize that wyverns can't fly because they have no wings.
Are they fast?
Yes, they are fast.
I like knock on the floor. Hey, Fortress.
So, Sade, you see out of the platform itself with out any sound or anything, like out of the steel begins to form up, almost like lead as it begins to form, and you see a large, a feminine figure with long hair and a kind of like deadpan face, kind of just morph into the space by you. Yes. How can I help you?
Miss Fortress, how can we get over there super quick? Our wyverns can't fly.
Oh, well, for that, you are going to have to tap into your crystals in the main transporter room.
Happening.
Okay, yeah, let's I guess let's go to the main transporter room then.
Do you need me to give you directions?
Yes,
Or lead you there?
'cause- yes, because I will just keep walking until I find it.
Right.
That's usually
I see that we have a new guest. You also need a room.
Sure.
All right. I will have your suite prepared for you by the time you all get back, if you do get back alive. Goodbye. And she kind of like leaves, and then there's a light trail that kind of like pops up on the lights onto this trail back inside, and it leads you to the transporter room, which as you go in, it's kind of this large circular space with a large crystalline structure in the middle. You see as the doors of this place, which by the way are huge, just slide to the side. You see that that Fortress is there, but there's now 4 of her seeming to work some kind of panel by the structure. All right, so I have coordinated exactly where the explosion hit. I can get you within a range of about... Oh, sorry, I thought somebody said something. That someone can get there in probably about half a block or more. How would you prefer for that?
that sounds like a reasonable margin of error. We can work with that.
All right, awesome. I will say, try not to move during the transfer because it does sometimes throw off the coordinates, and y'all merging into a wall. Unfortunately, your forms cannot take such a thing.
Okay.
Stay completely still. Gotcha.
All right. Is everyone good to go?
Think so.
All right. Wonderful. Before we start, I do have a feed, and you see this light pop up that begins to turn into this rectangle. And you see it begin to swirl until it almost becomes like one of those like seeing pools, and you can see that there are 2 figures on screen, but you can't make out what they are. There's so much dust and dirt being picked up, but you do see that one is extremely large and one is rather small. We believe, at least by my calculations, that these are the 2 individuals responsible for the current explosion. Names are unknown, as well as abilities, but given the coincidence, we do believe that it is probably the Golden Horde up to something. So just be prepared. Just go ahead and line up on these stairs, and she points, and you watch as stairs begin to lift up off the floor, and these small circles show up on each, about four of them. Go ahead and stand in those, and then once you are good to go ahead and press your gem to the crystal, and it'll transport you.
Dai is gonna step onto the step, and he's like, "Is everyone ready?"
As ready as we're gonna get.
And what is Say doing during all this?
They are processing things, and they're just going to kind of follow everyone else's lead, just to see what happens. I would imagine that their gem is probably like right here on their chest, probably.
Mhm.
So
Gotcha.
yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
All right.
And
And before
Dai-
we
oh,
sorry.
no, go ahead.
Sorry, I forgot about this. It's like, also, I have prepared some rations for you all's med kits. And she passes around. You see one of the arms of her go impossibly long, and like pulls out these 4 red flasks. These are health potions, which you can each have one in your inventory, and they will give you about 6 points of whatever stat you want back. And she also passes around to each of you these small stones, which seem to be these lightning things on them. It says these are Pepistones. They are one use, but you can use them to add +2 to your damage, or if you want to use 1 extra action during 1 turn. It'll either make you quick or do more damage during a fight.
Thank you, Miss Fortress. Now, onward and upward, and he's just gonna plunge his arm into the crystal.
Nice. And almost like Thor's Midgard, transport. There is a gust of wind, and these lights that shoot up, and Dai is gone.
Okay, well,
June definitely left first and did not hear most of what Fortress said.
Okay.
As no.
okay, so
Why she didn't
June's
say anything.
already been
She's
gone.
gone already.
Oh, she's been gone.
June's been
Gotcha.
gone for the past
Gone.
10 minutes.
Fortress fought
I'm willing to
bosses.
say June does not have a health potion. She's
Gotcha.
gone. I'm willing to say that.
All right, so
It's like you can
Fortress.
put your arm in there. Gone.
Gosh. All right, so Fortress turns to Crystal and says, "Maybe you should hold on to these as well."
I'll give it to June.
Hmm.
And Crystal will turn to Sade, or say it, and we'll say, Crystal's like always stands like very close to each other, almost like she's hiding under her hair, and says, a lot's going on right now, but June and Dai, they mean well. They just get a little excited. Just be careful, and we'll explain everything after. Okay?
Okay.
And Crystal will take the gem that's embedded in the palm of her hand and press it against the indentation in the wall.
Nice. So, she's gone.
So Sade is, it's awkward because it's on their chest. So like I can see this indentation and they kind of just face plant against it. And like they just like awkwardly push their chest out. It's like, and then
It's like you hug,
just gonna
you
chest
hug
bump
it. It's like,
Yep.
all right. So as you guys are, it is this weirdest sensation. It's like being like buried in like in sand that keeps moving, and it takes about 10 seconds before you guys are kind of warped in onto this street that is covered in broken parts, upturned stone. The smoke kind of hits your nose, and there's fire, and you can hear people like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And you can see just people move across the streets, and you can see like guards kind of just trying to like get people out. It's like we need to get people out of here. Move.
Time to transform.
All right. So June, as you kind of like tell me how you do your pose and how you transform and what that looks like.
So June to do her transformation sort of 'cause I was thinking about this a little bit and I think I've settled on it. To transform, she's gonna kind of do the Henry Cavill Mission Impossible, cocking both her fists to like, and that starts like the gear up sequence. So gear starts spinning all around her, and so her outfit's composed of mostly like gears forming, swirling around, placing themselves on the outfit, and then also the purple and probably like some and the silver accents coming over. Helmet being the last thing that comes on. Also sort of looks like goggles, like two gear shapes connected by like a little tube there. So goggle shaped. And her pose is sort of, how do I put it? No, like I think her pose is just like, like stand spread and then two arms up afterwards.
Nice. All right, so you all watch as these massive gears come out of nowhere, begin to spin and obscure June, and making this, and then explode into light, revealing her form.
Guardian reporting for duty.
I'm actually gonna look around to see like where the highest point is near me.
You look around and there's a tall building, probably about 5 stories tall, with this like large, almost like angel outcropping.
Cool. I'm gonna go over there and climb it to see where these two mysterious figures are.
Gotcha. All right, so since you're out of form, go ahead and make me a might roll. It's gonna be a tier 4.
Cool. Ugh, I rolled a 2.
No, so
oh no.
So you watch this and Dai is just like, I'm gonna go check this out. And you watch him like start to climb up. And there's this pause, and his claws aren't getting traction at all. And then you see it, and then he falls into this crate.
I'm okay.
You see like a mouse like fall out, just like
I'm okay.
I don't think you're supposed to fall when you do that.
Crystal will turn to Sade and say, do you know how to like do the thing June did?
Nope.
Okay. That's okay. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this.
You just
This
you just build up the energy inside you, and then it's like wah, and then you just and then you just scream out, and it just comes about.
So,
okay.
Yeah, like that.
I feel like maybe that's just you, Die.
It feels like literal
Makes sense to
explosions
me.
going inside of you, and you just let it all out, and you but contain it at the same time.
So do I just say the word transform? And then when Sade says
Maybe.
transform, suddenly like he just starts they just start transforming. And it's kind of like how Iron Man first suited up in the first Iron Man movie. Where like pieces of their suit is starting to like come out of existence basically, and it's like this black sleek just suit, and they're just standing there like what is happening. And then like there's of course got to put the aesthetic in there. There's like these accents of red all over. They look pretty cool, but they just don't know how to handle it right now.
I will say, as you transform, your mind seems to go somewhere else, and you find yourself in this like gray expanse of mist, and you can't really see what's around you for a brief bit until you look and see that there are these huge, like 5-story tall thrones with people in armor, kind of like Kingdom Hearts, you know,
Mm-hmm.
with the large, like white ones. It's kind of like that, but there are rows upon rows upon rows, like expanding out like a sea of people in these armor suits, and they're all like staring down at you. And then you see one of the thrones move past the other, and it's somebody somewhat taller than you would expect, but wearing the same outfit you're wearing. And you see them look down at you, and you hear, "You have chosen this path. The Guardians would welcome you, but first we must know what drives you. Sade, child of Kyra."
What drives me? Gain of knowledge, of power, of anything that I can take in.
And you hear them kind of, "Just like the few before you. Very well. Then your word is gain. Use it, live it, be it. You can choose to protect Kyra like the others or not. It's your decision. We, after all, brothers and sisters, are not a monopoly." And then you're back.
That was a trip.
Well, yeah. But at least you did it.
Yeah.
So did it feel like explosion inside you? Contain it?
No, I actually felt nauseous most of the time.
Yeah, that sounds like what Callista was saying.
Hmm.
Um, okay, well, no time like the present. And Krista will bring her hands together above her head with like interlocked, and the one in front has the crystal embedded in the front of it. And she brings her hands all the way up and down. And as it goes down, she becomes silhouetted by moonlight, and she's covered in a small circle of almost star-like refractions of light as her hands glide down, and the hoodie melds into the armor. The legs become sheathed in the armor as well, and then the right hand becomes plated in the gauntlet and extended into the shield of Alexander. And Crystal is then standing at her full height, which is probably like 2 or so inches taller. The hair is swept back. And just in general, she looks less nervous and more confident. And she says, okay, let's figure out what's going on.
Oh, I'm not about to be left out. Yeah, Dai's gonna also do this transformation.
All right, so you guys watch Crystal kind of bring her hands down, and stars begin to appear out of the void around her. These bright blue stars, and just like kind of this almost Sailor Moon thing going on. You watch as the shield kind of shows up out of the gauntlet, shing 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 shing, and then bursts into flames. That's Dai's turn.
So Dai's gonna bring his arm in front of him with the crystal, and he's gonna just go grab it, and he's gonna just like, all right, and go into his Dragon Ball Z stance of charging and start screaming. And you just see just kind of ice just kind of start forming beneath him and just start creeping up upon him. And first his gauntlets, it just freezes up and then just shatters, and then he has his gauntlets, and then just swirls of blue and silver all around him. His gauntlets, his chest piece, his leg armor, his headpiece, all just starts coming in. They freeze over, shatter, and reveal itself. And he just kind of, once all of that has been equipped, he kind of shakes it off, and he's like, all right.
Very awesome. You all also see that this kind of like spiritual key around him begins to erupt and almost turns into ice itself. And once the transformation is complete, it shatters like into these like snowflakes. And you all are now transformed. There are people running, but some of them do stop when they see this whole thing go down, and they're just like super confused. Most of them seem scared. You see that one, probably like 30-year-old dad is holding what seems to be like a small kid in one hand, just like stares at you and backs away.
Let's get investigating, shall we? And Crystal will start running from wherever people are running away from. Crystal will start running toward that
And
direction.
Crystal's right behind June. Because again, June doesn't wait.
Yeah, and
All right.
I'm just gonna like salute the little kid, just like, and then start running.
You just see the kid just go like, whoa.
Hell yeah.
All right, so you guys run across the street, leaping over upturned carts, through homes, as you kind of sideways step through some things. And you all find that doing physical things feels easier in a way that you wouldn't have like expected. Like you're able to jump, move, and it's not even like taking a breath or anything. There's no sweat that you feel. You just feel kind of electrified during the whole thing. And eventually you all wind up in front of what seems to be the council building itself, which is this large sweeping pantheon-esque structure that is just seeping smoke and flames from the inside. There's nobody nearby that's moving right now. But you do hear this thumping coming from inside. It kind of shakes the ground around you. And you hear like a scream, and then it cuts off as you hear like
So
what do you do?
That's probably not good. Can I make any kind of roll to see if I can discern a little bit more about this large thing in
Gotcha.
front of us?
So, do you want to stealth up and try to get a look, or do you want to try to like use like to see through the smoke?
Yeah, I want to use like the smoke to let me stealth a little closer to see if I
Okay.
can discern any shapes in the smoke.
Gotcha. So this will be a tier 5 check with the smoke. It'll bring it down to a 4. Is there anything else you want to use? And don't forget, you guys have your shifts that are always on, so you can knock those down at any time, and it won't take them away. So
Yeah, I will. I'll use my power shift. I think I increased my. What pool would this use? My stealth?
it's probably depends. Like if you want to try to be like tactical, or if you want to be more like roguish. Like it all depends on what you want to use.
I want to try and like just use the smoke as smartly as I can. If I could make this an intellect roll or use my
Sure,
intellect roll on this.
Yeah.
Coolio. And you said it's tier 4. I'm gonna save my shift.
Well, so the shift will not turn off if you use it. It just like turns that like 4
Right.
into a 3.
Right.
So,
So I will, since there's no reason not to.
Yeah. like you can use it all the time, no matter what, as long as you're in
Cool.
this form.
That is a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Yee.
So, all right. So that's going to have a major boon to it. So I'm going to say for this that you begin to move up. You've like for the rest of you, you feel as though Crystal hasn't moved, but then in a split second, gone. And you feel yourself kind of like opening parts of your mind to this, that allows your brain to process stuff, and you watch as the smoke around you begin to piece out things in the smoke, and it begins to to almost clear up into like somewhat lingering static. And you can see this large figure with this shaggy mound of just like red hair, and their body seems to be made of this like massive amounts of stone, and they've got this giant maw with this chin that drags around the ground. It's like, oh. And you can see these like huge oversized arms with these small legs. It's kind of goes. I'm going to say for this, you're going to have one extra edge that you can use in your intellect.
Coolio. Let me just account for that. Booski. Okay.
You see it move around, and then you see what seems to be a small man, probably about 4'5", with a long beard, with sharp ears. But the thing that sticks out to you is that he has multiple extremely long tentacles instead of legs. Just kind of, and you see the big creature says like, "I want to eat more."
Okay, well, that settles that, and I'd like to start making my way back to the group to describe the two targets to them. Something tells me that one of them is the muscle and one of them is the brain.
So I'm definitely taking the small one, right?
I mean, if you feel like it, I think it would make the most sense if June and Dai went for the big guy, and me and Sade can try and track down the small science-looking person.
Sounds great. Launch me, Die.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and Crystal will sort of shuffle Sade back and be like, "You might want to just watch. They're about to do a thing."
So
Okay.
June's got her weapon at the ready.
So I just pick up June, just kind of just go into a shot put position
Yes.
and just kind of lean back and
All right, I want to make this tier 7.
oh boy. I'm gonna use my shift in strength.
All right, so tier 6.
I'll get down one.
Do you have anything else you can use?
I am
How many shifts did you put in might or strength?
I have 1 in strength and 2 in power.
And power does what again?
You use of specific power, not including damage, 3 additional points per shift, but not attack rolls. So I mean,
Gotcha.
if I hit the monster with you,
Gotcha. So it makes you hit people more. So unfortunately, you can't see where these are, so that wouldn't work. So you do have so it's a tier 6 now.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to use?
I'm trying to look at all the stuff that I can do. No, I think that's all I'm gonna do.
All right, so you have to roll an 18 or above.
Ooh.
Roll well.
Got this.
Oh my god, I got a 19.
Oh my god. Which comes with a minor boon. So you watch as giant wolf antlered man picks up June and
Oh yes,
Shaw
I'm
puts
a
them-
Wendigo. So
Well,
just
yeah.
just so you know, Brie, I am a Wendigo.
And so
Gotcha.
you watch as, like Colossus and Wolverine, June goes zipping into the smoke at incredible speeds. June, as you are being thrown, you watch as the mist part and you see the two, but you go past them and you are about to hit a just a massive wall.
Oh, but we did well on that, though. Why did I go past them? Fine. All right. In response, let's see what are the things I can. That's the wrong character sheet. Hold on, that's the wrong game. Give me a minute. Cyber system. Thought something
Leisha,
was
you're
weird.
not playing a vampire right now.
That is the exact
You're-
sheet I had on.
You're not
That
playing a
was weird. We used to
vampire
just,
right
like,
now.
Say the masquerade,
Uses
what are you doing?
dominate? That doesn't sound right. Let's see. On sailing through the air, and you said I'm about to hit a pillar.
Mhm.
Could I, even though I'm like kind of mid-flight, could I use my far step to sort of like keep my momentum, but like kind of loop back around to like where the back is? I'm just like, oh, that's where they are, and sort of like, okay, that's what you do.
That was a reconnaissance throw.
Exactly.
So the
Like,
two
now
bad
I'm
guys see this and are like, what? And then see a poof. And then watch as there's this kind of like shinobi like shing, and June is now in front of them in this kind of like Superman pose on the ground.
Mhm.
And they just look at you. It's like, and the big one speaks up. And what I inquire as to what exactly you want.
Kneecap.
You're gonna take. Let's roll
'Cause
initiative, everybody.
Right? Exactly. It's just like I specifically said she had her weapon ready.
Yeah. True.
was
I
a
will give
spiked
you
fastball.
one. Since this is surprising, I will give you like this one hit on him.
Yes. Perfect. I bought myself this one poorly, but I'm doing it anyway. All right. So do I just? I can't remember. Do we roll to hit still, or is it?
Yes, you roll, and this can be a.
Okay.
Are you trying to be fast? Or are you trying to?
Trying to be
Um,
fast.
All right, so
She's not
melee.
gonna say it.
Gotcha, melee. So for this, it's going to be a tier 6.
Okay, can I use my edge? Oh wait, no, my edge actually isn't my. But I should still go for speed. I forget. That's fine. Tier 6. I can do this.
Mhm.
No, I can't.
No.
Never mind.
All right,
Even if I
so-
use an edge, nope.
So you bring up. So what's your weapon again for those?
My weapon was. Okay, so what was it, like a pole arm? I think is what she had. Because she had something with a little bit of range.
I thought it was a
Okay.
hammer, like with the
A
didn't it
hammer.
have like the engines on the back of it. On the back
Yeah.
of the head?
Oh, you know what? Yes, it was a hammer. Never mind. Yep.
Yeah,
it was a
because
hammer.
because the robot's your weapon. The robot turned
that's
into your
right.
hammer.
Now I need to make sure I noted that. So yeah, so her weapon is a hammer.
Gotcha. So for this, I will say, since you are agility based, that you can use your speed for this if you want to.
Okay. All right, but I'd still keep the same roll though, which still wouldn't
Yes.
make it.
Gotcha. All right. So you kind of like grab onto this like long like long pole with on top is this like kind of buzz saw, with this motorcycle just engine at the end of it. You grab onto it, twist it a bit, and you watch as it goes, and you swing, and the big guy isn't there anymore, but he's off to the side. So two can play at that game. Now it's time for everyone to give me initiative, please.
Can do.
Hey, Kayla, mine's
Hmm?
going to be super easy.
One,
I rolled a 2.
two, gotcha. Crystal.
Die has rolled a 17.
All right, tied 17.
For initiative,
s-
we add our speed bonus to the roll, or was it just straight what we roll?
I believe it's speed bonus, yes.
Okay, so in that case, I have a
Gotcha.
9.
9, okay.
Mine is a non-nat 20.
Nice. So, save. Two. So actually, tie and then. All right, so that everything good to go. So at the start of the round, Sade, it is your go. You saw your acquaintances, not really friends right now, just people you're kind of just moving along with. See one of them being shot put up the stairs, and you hear this like, and but you can't see past the smoke.
Hold on just a second. Sorry, my roommates are being
Okie doke.
That's the case. We'll go with the die. Then we wait.
I want to add a little bit of flavor to Dai's equipment. On his gauntlets at the elbows, there's like on one elbow there's a head of a wolf facing backwards, and the other elbow there's a face of a deer facing the
Nice.
other way. And
Very cool.
after Dai through June, he's gonna like go forward with the momentum, like do like a little roll. He just just going straight at him at like the direction that he threw June,
Mhm.
and just kind of like with kind of like propulsion from like there's just like ice, like frost coming out from his
Mhm.
elbows, and just with
Mhm.
like propulsion he's gonna use his ability to bash onto the big guy.
Gotcha. So you run up the stairs into the smoke, see him, and just bam. Go ahead and try to roll. This is a tier 6.
So since I have my power shift and strength already, does that knock it down one?
All right. So how many shifts do you have where?
I have one in strength right now.
Okay. Sorry. So that knocks it down. And power, I believe, makes it so it's easier to hit things.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So that since you have two of those in that would knock it down to a tier 3.
Yeah, could do that.
You know. So the
This is what I
18
do.
becomes a 9 on the roll.
Sweet. I rolled exactly a 9.
9. So that does still hit.
Hey.
We love
You do your
close
damage.
calls.
How much is your damage? I believe it was 8.
Yeah, but bash it. Okay, so I use one might point to use bash,
Mhm.
Pummeling melee attack. Your attack inflicts 1 less point of damage than normal, but dazes your target for 1 round, during which time all tasks it performs are hindered.
Gotcha. All right.
So
So
instead of 8, I do 7 damage.
all right. So instead of 8 punches, you just like in this like just slam into this guy and then slam your like one fist into the guy's eye.
Mhm.
It goes and just stumbles back and like hits the ground.
Yeah.
That was uncouth of you. Oh, damn.
Yeah. As that made an impact, just like it's essentially like steam is like comes out of that elbow. Is like, oh, I'm sorry. Were you about to say something? How rude of me.
Oh, you're an asshole. What did I ever do to you?
Sick.
Tentacles, kill him.
Tentacles.
And Sade, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
All right, awesome. All right, so we will go to your turn then instead of the bad guys.
Okay. So you might have to walk me through this.
It's okay. It's okay. It's your first time. All right. So for this, you have 3 actions around, and that means you can either like move 3 times, attack 3 times, that kind of thing.
per turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can like do like stuff 3 times or whatever, or like you can mix and match it. So right now you are on the steps. You saw 2 people go in. You've heard a bunch of like. So what is your character going to do about it, or if anything?
I think they would probably go at it with one of their daggers, maybe.
Okay. All right. And so because of your transformation, your weapons have changed. What do they look like?
Oh, they've changed. I think they're probably longer, and they probably have like the light that he was talking about earlier. And then like right in the middle, there's like this chrome kind of black stripe that goes up the blade that kind of fits their outfit. And they have 2 identical blades now. So yeah.
Very cool. So you kind of draw them out and expecting like this like hiss from the steel. You don't get that. Instead, you get this like almost like sparking as you like bring them out, and you watch as almost like light and lightning shoot around this like black stripe on each like each. It will cost you a move to get up to the rest of the group, but you will still have 2 actions to do. So
I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know, attack. Yeah.
Right. So do you want to attack the small one or the big one?
I'm gonna go for the small one.
All right, the small one. So for this, it's going to be a tier 3, so with tiers, you times that by 3 and have to roll that or higher on the die, and you can use certain things in your skill set that you think would work to bring that down. So since the tier 3, it would be a 9 on the die to hit.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it would just be the straight roll. your stats do not add like stuff, but if you have like an edge and might, you can bring that down to a 2
Oh,
instead
okay.
of a tier 3. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
which would make it a 6 on the die instead of 9.
Mhm.
So
Okay. So I got a 7.
and unfortunately, not hit unless you have something else you can use.
I have might that I can use.
All right, so is your edge in might? Like, do you have an edge point?
Oh wait, no, I don't. It's an
Is there-
intelligence.
Gotcha. And it's okay. What did you put your shifts into?
As far as my edges go,
No. So for the shifts, it's in the core book. We can go over that in break, but they allow you to do certain things because you are powered up. But your
Gotcha.
first attack will not hit. You can try again though.
Mhm.
It'll still be a tier 3.
Okay, I'll try one more time. Okay. So that was an 18 this time.
All right, so 18, so that does hit. So you rush into it, see this like short man with these long tentacles that are kind of this like purpley, sickly, like you're just like, ew. and you try to slash at him once and he kind of goes, and then you bring up the other one and slash him across the face. Now, normally, I believe light weapons do 4 damage, but instead you will do 6 damage with your weapon, and just gashing him across the face.
Mhm. Cool. Awesome.
All right, awesome. And that is your turn for now. But now it is the bad guy's turn. Since the big guy is stunned, it is now Tentacles' move. He looks at you, Sade, and then begins to grow taller. And you see the face become this almost like Cthulhian looking thing. And you see the arms buff up. And he goes to about like 7 feet tall and has multiple tentacles now, and just and brings one up and is going to try to slam it against you. I need you to make a tier 4 roll.
It's most uncouth.
You need your agility for this, your speed.
So that a 15.
15. That does work. Awesome. So one attack. You see this and begin to step back, but find yourself going faster than you expected, and kind of move to the side as this giant thing goes wham, stone everywhere, and leaves this like small crater where you would have been. It growls at you and is going to use up 2 of its moves to kind of like bring its eyes towards you, and you see a flash. I need you to make a tier 5 intellect thing, and I believe you have an edge in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that brings it down to a tier 4. So go ahead and roll that. That's going to be 12. You have to beat on the die.
I got a 10.
10, unfortunately, does not work, as you find yourself being stuck in place for a brief second, and then a stabbing pain in your head. You will take 5 points of mental damage, and so you need to knock 5 points off of your intellect pool right now.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. And so it is now June's turn.
I'm gonna take a kneecap shot again.
Kneecap shot again.
Yep.
At the well, technically he is smaller now, but big guy.
Yes. Try it again.
All right.
We can do this.
All right.
Takegurima
I mean, he is stunned.
God.
He is stunned.
So that will knock it down. So what's your roll? 2. Unfortunately, again, you did not hit. But
I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
but you still have 2 actions left that you can do.
No, she's frustrated. She's gonna try this until she finally hits
Okay.
the bigger but now slightly smaller dude.
Okay. I will say with like I forgot this, but I believe with each subsequent like attack, I believe it gets harder to hit something. I do believe. I will check that at break, but we'll say for now that it's going to be like 1 extra on the die. So it would have been like in 18 for you to hit because it's a tier 6 for him, but it's going to be a 19 on the die for this.
Then no.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh,
Alright,
that's
so
better.
what are you gonna
Not
do?
a 19.
It's okay.
At this point, she's like, you know what? Fine. Hammer's not working. We're gonna hit him with an onslaught. So we're gonna use an int point to assail him instead for 4 points of damage.
Gotcha. So that go ahead and roll me. It's tier 2.
Yeah, she hits.
All right, she hits. So you so
1 to 20,
what
she
is
hits.
so you kind of glare at him and you
Mhm.
all see these like red sparks come out of her eyes and like shoot into the big guy and into his eyes. He's like, "Ah, why would you guys in my eyes? I don't appreciate this kind of assault." Ah."
Stop
Alright.
being a bad guy and you'll stop getting hit.
All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yes, it is.
All right, Crystal, it's your go.
I was muted. Crystal is going to start making her way.
Downtown.
Stop this.
Again.
She's going to just.
I mean, you're walking fast.
she's
Faces
going-
do past, but you
She's
aren't
gonna
homebound,
run
so-
into the smoke. Animals,
you're-
all of you. And she will. Did anybody get hit? I don't believe so. I think. After
I think we've kind of.
Yeah, you guys have not been hit yet.
Then I am going to run in and I am going to activate block. And
Mhm.
I am going to block the next melee attack made against, let's say, June. I'm going to block the next melee attack made against June within the next minute. So that brings my speed pool down a bit. 10 of those. And that's 1 action. So I suppose, because I get 3 points, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So one of them was to move, one of them was to block. And with the last one, I'll swing out with the Shield of Alexander at the smaller person with the tentacles.
All right. Gotcha. All right, so it's going to be tier 3.
Okie dokie. Tier 3, that is a 15 on the die.
All right, so that hits.
And I'll just sort of clock out at him with the shield and say, so what exactly are you guys trying to accomplish here outside of eating people?
And the big guy is just like, Well, we were given instructions to. Actually, it's none of your fucking business now, is it?
All right, rude. And
But you do all look very tasty. I might dine on every single one of you.
Oh.
yeah, and after she kicks Tentacles in the posterior, Crystal will just sort of slide back next to Sade with a shield up.
Alrighty. All right, top of the round again. Sade, it's your go.
Okay. I'm gonna go for the asshole that just mouthed off.
Mhm.
And I am going to use my daggers again. And which tier was it again?
It is a tier 6 to hit the guy who mouthed off.
Okay.
So it's 18 with melee attacks.
Yee! Okay. I got a 19.
Hey,
No, gosh.
I really
there
did.
she goes. Oh,
All right,
here she
so-
comes.
Yay. 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 Yay.
Alrighty. So that does hit. So you do 6 points as you stab him as he's like, she's listening to me. I just got this form and you're covering it up. I don't appreciate it. It's debilitating to my mental state because I went on through all this work and now you're just sitting on it.
Stop being evil.
Evil is a concept defined by your own moral code.
And I would
So
like to
are
polite.
healthy kneecaps.
I would like to politely ask you to stop eating people.
Well, unfortunately, I'd love to do that, but they're tasty, and I need them to survive.
Guys,
So
can we
unfortunately-
stop arguing morals with the giant tentacle monsters and focus?
Hey, I'm having
Right.
a discussion with your friend who instigated it, so I appreciate if you didn't bother to try to do this cross-examination horseshit.
Listen, I understand there are frustrations going on beyond your control, but it is kind of my duty to, kind of go for it with the second dagger. So, I mean, it's going to hurt a little bit. Just want you to brace yourself mentally before I do it. I'm giving you a chance. Like,
I appreciate it. I'm
yeah.
gonna go to my mind palace real quick, and I'm gonna pretend my body is made of steel.
Sometimes you have to, and sometimes you just gotta breathe. You gotta breathe through it,
Okay, you can do it.
We'll see if I can
God.
actually do it.
What
I got a
fucking
nat
mess.
20.
Hey! There we go.
I'm cheating at PlayStation right now. You cheating
going
at
on
PlayStation
tonight?
right now.
God damn it.
You cheating at
I'm really not. I'm really.
PlayStation.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, so this is gonna be a major boon that I have to do for you.
Oh.
So since you have them in this willing state to get stabbed, you figure that the best thing to do is to stab him in the eye. So you do so, and not only does it hurt him, but also stuns him for another
Another
a
turn?
second round.
Yay!
So it's like,
Yeah.
all right, hit me. Oh, I was not prepared. I thought I was prepared, but I'm not.
I gave you an opportunity.
Oh.
Brace yourself. That's all I could give. Sorry.
Okay.
Fortunately, it's not gonna stop hurting.
Okay, you still have an extra attack if you want to use it.
You know what? I'm gonna hit
The
his
stun
ass.
is gonna knock him down to like a tier 7. No, sorry, a tier 5. So you only have to. But since it's an extra attack, you got a 20, so it's just gonna be a 15 on the die. Fuck it.
This Give it up.
God
Did
bless.
I break the game? A 17.
That hits. So yeah, you
Fade
you
is
hit him
with
again.
it tonight.
You slash into like his mouth, and like you see his tongue like roll around like.
Oh man, wait till it's my.
Crystal is going to see that Sade is doing all this damage and kind of feel like maybe I should have blocked someone else then, I guess.
I was like, I turned to Crystal. I'm like, I like them. I really like them.
And with
Drops.
that, we're gonna take a break real quick to get some water, and I need to compose myself on these events that have just gone by. So we'll see y'all in a bit.
Hey!
We
See
need
you
to
in
take
about
a
10
break
minutes.
to Buffy.
Hey everybody, we are back with Upon These Crystals, and we are in the middle of combat. And I believe it is Dai's turn. Dai. Big guy is stunned yet again.
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You know exactly what's gonna happen. I'm
Look,
sorry,
I prepared
Miss.
myself for this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you. I'm gonna have you keep eating people. I'm going to need to stop you, for it is my job to stop you from eating people. And to tell you that if I hit you, it's not going to hurt as much would be a lie. It's going to really hurt.
I appreciate the honesty.
So if there's anything you want to say before I just punch you into the dirt, you want to say anything before I punch your jaw and dislocate it, or after?
I think I have something.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's quite an experience to live in fear, isn't it? What it means to be eaten. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack freighters off the coast. I've watched stars glitter in the dark near Tannhauser Gate. And all those moments will be lost in time, like tears in the rain.
Dai is like crying. Dai is tearing up. My friend, you are a poet. I will remember you.
And Crystal is just standing next to Sade, like, because I imagine that Dai's got like the full-on anime crying, like one
Tears
hand
down.
clenched.
Just like
Yeah.
looking up into the sky, just tearing up.
It starts to rain. For no reason, just starts to rain.
And it's like,
Wrap it up, Dai.
it looks like rain. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him.
Okay. Roll for it.
Yeah, he's stunned. I got my 2 power shifts and my 1 strength shift. So what do I gotta beat?
So that's a tier 2, so you gotta roll a 6 or higher.
It's gonna hurt a lot. I mean, I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4.
I rolled a 4.
You're just so moved by this speech that you kind of stop for a second. You can try again. You have
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
2 more
I'm
moves.
gonna keep on trying again.
It's gonna be a tier 3 now.
That's a 12.
12, that does hit. That does hit this time.
Yeah, so I do 16 damage.
Okay. So you just take a second, because you have known this monster for a very long, like 2 minutes.
So long.
It's enough to make up somebody weep, and you just bring your fist up and he rockets off into the far end of the room and just splats against the wall.
Good shot,
And-
Dai.
and slides. And does not move.
It's just so beautiful.
I know, buddy.
It was so
I
beautiful.
know.
Miss
Yep.
Adams was.
That was what I
Nice
needed.
one.
You know.
Can this guy not talk anymore? Is that what's going on?
No, that's the squid guy. Oh, I
Crystal
think we
will
lost
sort
Di.
of- AJ does appear to be frozen, but Crystal will sort of like turn over to the smaller tentacled fellow and say, "Do we really need to do this?"
Like he brings up like two tentacles off to the side and does like a whip, like onto the now somehow raining indoors ground.
I mean, if you want the smoke, that's fine. It just
Oh, and
seems
we
like,
have completely lost AJ.
oh no, not AJ.
Oh no.
Gasp. But Crystal will go, all right, and just welcome back.
Welcome back. There you are.
Yeah, my internet just decided to just die on me, I guess.
Nice.
It was
Got a
too
point.
much. It was too much.
Did it decide to die ocelot on you?
Stop. Look at me. Stop.
Look at what you've done.
No.
Crystal's gonna try and I want to try and like restrain this one, the smaller guy.
You could, but it's still not your turn though,
Oh,
because
okay.
you're still in combat right now.
Okay, gotcha.
Gotcha. It's okay. But with Di's turn up, it is now the little guy's turn. Tentacles. So next, he's gonna round on Di, since you destroyed his friend. And I'm
Aye.
going to use a GM intrusion here.
Oh no.
And I'm going to say that for this, you see like the body expand and become almost like a starfish. And he's going to use a free action to try to grab onto you. Go ahead and roll me a tier 5. My check, please.
Mic check.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. So can I use one of the one shift I have in strength?
Yep.
All right.
So tier 4.
And yeah, I guess that's all that I can do, really.
All right.
That is a 16.
All right, 16. So you see this and move out of the way just in time before he like plops onto the ground. And he gets up.
Oh, great. We're gonna need a translator.
And it's going to use another attack for this. Oh, by the way, you get two XP, one for yourself and one for somebody else who you choose. He's going to use his first actual attack to try to slam a tentacle into you. I need you to make a tier 5 roll, please.
So I'm
So
gonna
knock it down for you to a tier 4.
All right. I'm gonna give the experience to say.
Nice.
That
You get
is
your
not-
first XP save.
That is not gonna do it. I rolled a 4.
4. Unfortunately, it hits and you take 6 might as he slams into your face.
Can I use my flesh to stone enabler ability?
I believe you have to do that on your turn.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got that.
Yes, unfortunately, that is not open. As he kind of smacks you across the face, your
So
helmet like rings for a set a set a set a set a second. Goes
I take how much again?
a 6.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
He is going to use his other 2 moves to move towards the corpse question mark of the other guy. This is going to move straight towards them. All right, that's going to be his turn. June, it's your go.
All right. June is just going to start shooting the intelligence onslaughts at Tentacles. Because hammer didn't work.
All right, so you're going to shoot what again? Sorry?
The onslaught, I think it's called.
Oh, yes, onslaught. Okay.
Yep.
So you're going to have to move up to him.
I'll spend an action to move.
Okay. All right, and go ahead and do the roll, please.
All right. But I guess a 5 doesn't do it.
Unfortunately, you use it, and he just moves out of the way. The tentacles kind of shrink back, and you just cannot hit him with that attack, unfortunately.
Okay. In that case, I will. Guy seems to be having Shade seems to be having the best go at hitting things. So, she's going to use distortion to basically give a boost to Shade's speed-based defense rolls.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that'll be June start. That's 3.
Very cool. All right, Crystal, it's your go.
Crystal would like to. I want to try and like restrain this smaller one. If we can, Tentacles. If we can try and get him in for some questioning, if at all possible. See what the hell's going on, or who is behind this attack, because they mentioned that they had orders. So I would like to. I'm just double checking to see if I have any relevant skills. Sorry. Okay. I am going to. I guess. What kind of role would that be to like?
Restrain would be like. It'd be like a grapple check. For this, I'm going to say it's probably a might check that you have to do. For him, I'm going to say a tier 4.
Roger that. And I do have an edge in might. Booski. So that is an 11.
All right, so that works. So you rush up and grab onto him and pin him close to the shield. And with restraint for this, they can't move, but they can hit you. And they will try to break out of it if they want on their next turn.
Just stay calm. We just want to ask you a couple of things about, why you guys are eating people. Right, gotta work on that too. June, you wouldn't happen to have a translator somewhere on you, would you?
I could try to make one. Anybody got spare parts?
Look around. Didn't you say there were parts scattered all over the ground when we first arrived?
Of stone, paper, and like weapons and wood, but not anything like gears or anything like that. Not anything that you guys can use to make one right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that'll be Crystal's turn. Well, Crystal will
Alright.
also sort of like shoot a glance over to the one that got one punched into high heaven. See how that one's doing.
D, you gotta do it like 1 punch. You gotta do it just like
Gotcha.
the whole, yeah.
Gotcha.
Make me a tier 4 intellect check just because of all the smoke.
Okay, and my power shift is giving me an edge in intellect. So, hoi. That is a 17 on the die.
So the body is still, but you see it moving at the edges, like the form is melting.
Hmm. Okay, Guardians.
You do see kind of like fingers attached to hands that are inside of it, like poking out of the sludge.
Think,
And it's multiple like hands from like multiple people.
Hey, Di, I think your friend over there is getting a little weird.
Handsy.
No. And that's Crystal's turn.
All right, Sade, it's your go.
So, Sade's demeanor kind of changes a little bit, and instead of attacking, they're going to kind of back away and watch.
Okay. All right, Die. Then what are you gonna do?
Dai's gonna just come off the wall that he was embedded in, and
Oh no,
Yeah.
you
Oh.
were fine. It was
Okay.
him that got slammed into the wall.
oh yeah, just gotta get up, I guess, from getting hit or just like shrugging off, and gonna walk over to go over to Crystal and the tentacles,
Uh-huh.
and just tie up his tentacles.
Make a
Casual like, as you do.
Make it a-
Casual.
make a tier 5, but since he's restrained, it'll go down to a tier.
And I have my shift in strength.
Sure, yeah.
So tier 3.
Yeah.
Shit, that's an at 20.
Nice.
Well then,
So he's restrained twice,
Oh,
and now
just,
can't make
nice,
attacks.
Nice bow. A nice
Yeah.
bow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it's gonna take him 2 moves to get out of those ropes.
Of his own tentacles.
Yes. So can't make attacks. What else are you gonna do?
I'm gonna sit on him, just like put my fist up, just ready to punch him.
Okay.
And he was like, please, sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to take the tentacles out of your mouth, and I'm gonna have to ask you to take the tentacles out of your mouth, or I'm gonna start punching the tentacles. I don't know how this worked, Miss Adams.
I think maybe we need to get. I don't think that he's speaking common.
So just knock him out, and then bring him back to the fortress, I guess.
If Crystal doesn't think she's got if June doesn't think
You
has
are
what
you are Crystal, Miss Adams.
if June doesn't think that she has what she needs to make a translator
don't.
here, then we probably need to take this one with us. Yeah.
All right, and just kind of not punch, but slap to rattle his
head.
Okay,
knock
are you
him
trying
out.
to do like
I'm
damage?
trying to like knock him out more than damage.
I mean, so he's a pretty big guy. A slap isn't going to like make him go to sleep.
You know, I'll do it a couple of times if I need to.
And we're being rated by Chromatic Chimera.
Hey.
Thank you.
Oh,
Welcome,
my
welcome.
goodness.
So
I'm trying to knock a tentacle monster out by slapping it.
all right, so since he hasn't taken that much damage, he is restrained. I'm going to make this a tier 8.
Oof.
I'm his hands and his mouth. What is going on over there? What is going on?
Oh, I have no idea. I am concerned.
The raid call.
I
Duh.
am concerned.
It's true.
So it's a tier 8.
Uh-huh.
So can I use my 3 shifts that I have to knock it down to tier 5?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Just hitting to see if I can knock them out. That is a 16 on the die.
On the
Die.
I don't know how you guys keep capturing my bad guys. This is the second time. The one shot and now episode 2.
Listen,
I,
what information?
We want information, and you know, Die's really good at making sure they don't go anywhere.
so the slap is so loud that it reverberates for about 5 blocks.
Nice.
The panic outside kind of stops for a second, and you just hear a collective "damn," and then just noise again. The
God
Squid
bless.
Man is now unconscious and begins to
Yay.
revert back to the original size. I'm gonna say that for right now, combat is over.
I mean, if you guys want to look at that, that weird melty hands guy, I think we got this one under control. Just put him over my shoulder. Just like, all right.
Yeah.
Kind of smells like fish in the sea. It's kind of slimy. You feel like one of the tentacles like curl up and begin to like slime against your cheek as it kind of like moves around in the dude's sleep.
I'm going to look around for a blanket to wrap him up in the blanket so he's not as slimy.
All right, you do manage to find a kind of like soot covered like bit of this like silk tapestry that kind of works. You kind of roll him up.
Yep.
I'm gonna turn to June and say, how are you with tentacles and sludge?
I mean, I haven't made bio tentacles before. I never tried it. Is that something I should try? Should I put it in a cookie?
I would not like to eat this man. No.
Definitely do not put it into a cookie. Let's go look at this melting thing.
All right,
Okay.
so you all go over, and by this time, like the skin is just like sloughing off, almost like a gel. And you watch as this like gel kind of pulls about, and you see about like 6 people just kind of moaning on the ground where this person was, and you see like a small, like snake-like, eye-like gem on the ground by them. And they're just, and they look to be like older folks. They're dressed in garbs of like council members. They've got like this purple sash on them, and they're just kind of like completely out of it right now.
Let's see if they have any ID. And June just starts searching all of them.
Dai is
so-
gonna drink his potion, and then he's gonna say, put the crystal in the bottle.
Yep, that's probably smart. Crystal will scoop up the crystal out of the gunk and sort of slip it into the empty potion bottle and cork it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my might back.
Maybe, do we know if Fortress can, like, I don't know, analyze this sludge goo?
I mean, Miss Fortress has very much done a lot of things that we have not yet comprehended, so I don't see why not.
Great. Hey, June,
Yes?
do you have one of those Tupperware containers you keep your cookies in?
Oh, sure. Oh, that reminds me. Sade, here's your welcome basket. And June will, I assume she has hammer space, quite literally.
Sure.
And like, so one of the baskets she has, she'll dump, so she'll dump a bunch of cookies in there that normally would be in Tupperware, hand that to Sade, and then hand the Tupperware that clearly still has cookie crumbs in it over to Crystal.
Crystal will sort of like tap it against something and shake out the crumbs and get a bit of this sludge into the thing, and then turn to Sade and say, June actually does make really good cookies, so
If you're not her test subject.
if you're not the bravest man alive.
I have never poisoned anyone,
Yet.
not on purpose.
Can I glean
Accidentally.
anything?
That's the word I wanted.
Can I glean anything off of the sludge just from what I know?
Sure, make a roll. It's gonna be tier 5.
Okay. Oh, I know nothing. That's a natural one. Head
It's
empty, no
goo.
thoughts.
Oh, natural one. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes,
I get
ma'am.
a GM intrusion for free.
Yeah, you do.
Oh no.
So you pull up the sludge and you. So what would be interesting for this? Okay. It's gross. It's warm. It's like this mucus. And it kind of takes you aback, and you're kind of like focused on it so much that you don't hear the arrow shooting right towards you.
What?
Oof.
And you will take 4 might damage as
Ow,
you are
wow.
stuck in the back with an arrow. And it's at this point you hear the like metal boots moving towards you, and you can see a throng of guards being led by this like large man in this long coat with like the arms ripped off. He's got this shock white hair that's kind of back down around him like a scythe, and he's got a large cigar, and he's holding this like very large like crossbow that's got this figure of a sea serpent on it. And he says, "Nobody move! You touch those counselors and I'll have your heads on the ground."
I'm gonna put my arm in front of me and where the crystal would be if it wasn't covered by a gauntlet. Just be like, Miss Fortress, if you can hear us, we would like a speedy getaway.
June's gonna grab that amulet.
Okay, you grab it, and you hear Fortress say, initiating teleportation sequence. And the guards see this light around you, and the big guy brings up a hand, and you are whisked back into the teleportation chamber.
Whew! That's nice.
You see Fortress saying, "Welcome back. I watched your progress, and I must say you did rather well for your first time."
Do we have like an interrogation room for this little dude?
Yes, I can put her in the cell next to Lady Shrike.
The other one we captured, yes.
Good.
I guess
Thankfully, I can make rooms for all these. So
I guess I just
she-
drop the tentacles on the floor.
you see a fortress, like besides the one that you've seen, like kind of come out of the ground, kind of like just staring at you all. She kind of like drags this dude into the ground.
Thanks, Miss Fortress.
Oh, Fortress, this is Sade. They're going to be staying with us, apparently.
Yeah. Yes, I am aware of their name. Cato had already brought me up to speed before he brought you all here.
Awesome.
So
Glad that
welcome,
Cato is
Sade.
always so open and clear and concise.
Ooh, Miss Adams, the crystal.
Oh, right. And Crystal will present the empty bottle with the crystal inside of it.
Interesting. Don't know what it is, but we can analyze it in the research rooms. I will have that good for you all to go when you feel like it.
With you now, I want to start.
Very well. You can join me in that. What are the rest of you about to do?
Well, I figure we should probably try and get some answers out of our friend.
Oh, I'm
Sure,
gonna,
well,
I'm
they-
gonna de-transform.
Gotcha. Very well. I can wake them up, but it will be a very painful procedure.
I mean, I don't think we need to hurt them. They're already captured, right?
That is entirely up to you.
I mean, we can always go eat right now. That battle kind of made me hungry, Miss Adams.
Are you ever not hungry?
I mean, I ran a lot. I threw Miss Shoemarch.
Which was,
That was
awesome.
pretty cool.
I
That was
I,
pretty
pun-
cool.
I punched a dude into a wall. It's been a very eventful day.
Okay. So we just leave them to wake up on their own while we eat and June works. June, you should eat something that's not sugar-based.
But then my intelligence will decrease.
That's not how that works.
Sugar.
That's
Actually, blueberries are very much a healthy fruit that you can have that have sweetness and also promote brain activity.
compromise. Blueberries, June?
Blueberry cookies. Got it.
That's not okay. Enjoy your blueberry cookies.
Miss Adams, that's probably the closest we're ever gonna get.
Yeah, I know.
So, Mixed Sade, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna turn in for the night.
That's fair. Fortress can show you to your room.
I guess I do have a question for you all. Why exactly are you guardians?
I think something's coming. What we saw from Shrike in that rune, something bad is gonna happen soon, and there needs to be someone around to protect the people from it.
Are these people important to you?
No, but they're important to someone, and I think that's enough.
And for me personally, I need to be the someone that watch these two backs. And now you're back.
Opportunity doesn't knock twice, so you gotta slam through that door.
Welcome to the
Does
team.
everything you say, June, sound like a punchline?
I actually like hitting things with a hammer, but maybe.
Great. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get some rest.
Sade.
Hmm.
Welcome to the team.
Thanks. And Sade kind of does one of these, and they turn around, and there's like a hint of like something in their eyes, but I don't know if y'all catch it or not, depending on your character. And they start to walk away.
Fortress comes up behind you and it's like, your suite is this way. Based on the information that Kato gave me about you, I hope it is to your liking.
Thank you.
She leads you down these like wide, expansive hallways into what seem to be these like this large, probably about 8 foot tall door
Mhm.
that kind of slides to the side, which is weird because you've only seen doors like go in or go out, but this one slides into the wall. And inside, I want you to imagine like a multiple room penthouse suite, like extremely like expansive, like there's multiple rooms. It's almost like its own little town. But what does that look like for your character? What does that suite look like?
Very simplistic, very minimalist. A lot of geometric kind of shapes. Not much color. very dark. And it's a bit lonely in there. But they kind of have gotten used to that looming feeling. So, I mean, it brings them some comfort. So,
Your bedroom is off to the side. There's a kitchen if you wish to prepare your own meals. The larder inside is always full. So if you ever need anything, just think about it. Open the door, and it will be there. Or if you would like a fully prepared meal off of you could just sit down at your private lounge, and it will appear on the space in front of you. Includes drinks, anything. Is there anything I can do to make your stay more comfortable?
I don't think so. Thank you.
You see an odd flicker. Yes, I see you're still wearing your armor. Is that a choice?
Oh, I kind of forgot that it was there. I don't necessarily know how to put it away.
Oh, you just think about it.
Good to know.
She kind of looks at you, and like she's been kind of like deadpan, but it's like this brings back memories. My original self's sister used to wear that suit, so it's interesting to see it passed on. Anyway, have a good night. She kind of morphs into the floor.
You too.
Alrighty. And I believe that is where we're going to end today's episode, unless anybody has something that they want to do before we end it.
No, I mean, it would just be, honestly, just be eating.
Gotcha. They're just scarfing down food.
Also, quiet as Crystal is, she does eat like a Saiyan. So
yeah. So it's just rice and just meat and
dye and crystal
vegetables flying everywhere.
Yep.
There's stacks upon stacks of plates. Yeah. Nice. All right, so we are going to end today's session. Thank you guys for being here for episode 2. I am your host and DM, Kayla Kaleidoscopes. I changed that name, and you can find me on Twitter at Kaleidoscopes. I am a game designer working on a new upcoming TRPG system with Cartomancy Games, and hopefully you should see more of that soon. That is going to be a game that is based on cards instead of dice, and is this kind of like inspired by JRPGs and all of their goodness. So hopefully you'll see that soon. And I'm going to go around the clock, and we're going to go with D. Tell us about yourself and where we can find you online.
Oh, hi. My name is D. I am a voice actor, musician, I'm a voice actor, musician, professional GM with the Emerald City Game Masters Guild. You can come check us out and everything we're doing very soon here. We're going to be having a Galentine's Day event in our server where you can purchase tickets and you can join some very quick, very rapidly done games. We're doing like a speed dating kind of thing. It's going to be 45 minutes
Hey.
and you just jump from table to table and play with our various GMs. And we've got guest GMs and all kind of events. You can follow Emerald City GMG on Twitter to get updates on that. As far as myself, I also play Julian in Woodsy Studios' Crimson Spires, which is available on Steam. It's a visual novel and a romantic path that you can take is to date my lovely, lovely boy. After that, I don't have anything planned for the rest of the week. I'll probably be streaming on my Twitch, which has been so lovingly linked in our chat. And then on Tuesdays, you can catch me back here where I play Tucker Green in Second City Saviors. On Wednesdays, you can also find me here where I DM my game, a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition chronicle by the name of Under the Pale Cold Sun. And yeah, that's me.
Very awesome. And next we have AJ playing Die Ocelot.
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Husha Kid. You can find me on the 3 T's of social media, which is Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok as Husha_Kid. Follow me on TikTok. I'm almost at 1,000 followers. It's gonna be great. You can also find me. Okay, I am a production assistant for a film anthology, an anthology film series called Witness to a Devouring Monster. It is a film series in which has elements of magical realism and Filipino culture. Our team is women-led and POC-led. We are currently in production and we need to be funded to finish this production. You can find the link to our GoFundMe in my Twitter bio. It should be the first thing in my link tree. Also, you can see me back here on Tuesday. Back here Tuesday, Second City Saviors, playing Echo. We just came back from another world, and things have been, there's a lot of shit going on right now in Chicago. And you can then, after that, find me on Misty Mountain Legends. We should be coming back on Wednesday, February 3rd, on Misty Mountain Legends on Twitch with Fallon Friends, in which I play a cool dude bro halfling cleric. And we continue serving our duck god.
Very awesome. And next we have Alicia playing June Shoemarch.
Hello, that's me. I am Alicia, RNG9 on Twitch and NG9 on Twitter, where I do puns and have snakes and curse a lot and hydrate. Everybody hydrate.
Hydrate.
You can find me here for this game, obviously on Thursdays, and on Wednesdays I'm also on the Under the Pale Cold Sun as Victoria Beastale. I also stream on my own channel, mostly on Sundays, doing Monster Prom Camp and whatever other co-op games me and my friends decide to do. I'm mods for various different channels. You can find me on that. Also, Vibrant Legends. I'm also on there pretty often over on the Dicey Amazon channels on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. But so yeah, follow me for puns and chaos and snakes.
Awesome. And next, rounding us up for today, we have Brito playing Sade.
Hello. So this is my first game with Critical Misses, and I'm really excited about it. This is a lot of fun, even though it was just me like sitting back and watching y'all, but like I love it and I love this story. It's so wacky and I love it. So you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Brito_. I do a lot of streaming. I play through video games. I do charity streams. And I just do hangout streams where I literally rant for hours. And it's just a really casual thing that I have going on Twitch. And over on the Twitter side, I do a lot of TTRPG stuff. You can find me on TPK Roleplays Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign every other Friday. I'm actually going to be playing tomorrow night. And you can find me here on Thursdays. And for my Twitch channel, you can find me on there on Mondays and Tuesdays and Saturdays. Sometimes with Alicia. Alicia's been on there a couple times and it's been so much fun. So yeah.
He's an enabler of my chaos.
What'd you say?
Free is an enabler of my chaos.
I can neither confirm nor deny. And I also have a professional DM campaign coming up with Roll Together RPG, which I'm really excited about because it is a homebrew campaign about Black Vikings, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, that's all about me. Oh, I also do like digital illustration, I do graphic design, and I do all the things, I guess. So yeah, come and find me.
Right. Awesome. Thank you guys for being here with us. I believe we are going to go raid Chaotic Creation, so be sure to hop onto that when it starts. And I think we're gonna make the raid tag Tears in the Rain indoors.
Oh,
Indoors.
Tears in the rain indoors.
Indoors. Okay.
They're gonna be like, oh man, it must have been such a serious episode with such heavy drama. It's like, no. It's just
No.
Die being Colonel Mustang for a creature that he met
Oh,
2
looks
minutes
like
prior.
rain.
Looks like rain. No. Yes, it is. It's raining.
Like Mustang. No, it's not.
Right.
It's
No, I
not
wanna watch
raining.
this.
You're
Yes, it
crying
is.
about your friend. Shut up!
Shut up, it's raining.
Raining outside.
The fire guy. That's supposed to be the water guy.
Wonderful. Dope. Thank you guys for coming out. All the support. Thanks, Chromatic Chimera, for the raid. You're all lovely.
Until next time, Guardians.
Chaos,
Bye.
Monster.